Let us continue with the 6th episode of the series Understanding Islam. In the previous episode we named 5 main criteria indicating that the Quran is in fact from God. If you haven't watched it yet, you can click the link above. In this episode we will deal with the first criterion in more detail. It is as follows. If the Quran is from God, then its verses should not be in conflict with each other. This may seem easy, but if you consider that it was revealed over the course of 23 years, and many of the verses came as answers to the questions of that time's Muslim community, or to solve their problems, under normal circumstances, it is hardly possible to maintain internal consistency if it were written by man. And the Quran draws our attention to this subject and very bravely claims that it is free of errors and inconsistencies. Do they ponder on the Quran? If it had been from anyone other than God, they would have found much inconsistency in it. What is more is the Quran's verses are structured in such a way that they explain one another, and they are all interconnected like parts of one big picture. Verses in different chapters talk about the different aspects of the same matter, so that they complete each other and they answer all possible questions. Thus, the Quran is a self-explanatory book. Even if there are sometimes words which are difficult to understand, then you can use the Quran as a dictionary and check the usage of the same phrase in different verses and make a very convincing conclusion. This topic is much deeper and it is beyond the scope of this brief introduction, but we encourage you to complete more research on that, and each time you discover new features of the Quran, you will be more amazed about its beauty. Alif Lam Ra, a book with verses which are fundamental in nature and then expounded in detail by one who is all-wise and all-aware, so that you should worship none but God. I am sent to you from Him to warn you and to give you good tidings. Let's continue with the second criterion. If a message is from God, and if we believe in a perfect God who knows everything, who is omnipotent, and the creator of everything, then certainly Quran should not be in conflict with what we observe in the external universe. The Quran talks about the creation of the universe, and that there will be an end to the life of the sun, the planets, and the universe, all in line with scientific observations and discoveries. You would appreciate the Quran's consistency with the external universe more if you consider that it was written 1300 years ago, at a time when scientific methodology and knowledge was not developed, at a time when people believed in an eternal universe and thought that the earth was flat. If there was some influence of that day's false beliefs in the Quran, then for sure we would find multiple mistakes regarding the verses that talk about the universe, biology and geology. And it is He who created the night and the day and the sun and the moon, all in an orbit are swimming. This concludes our current episode. In the following episodes we will go over other criteria one by one, with God's permission. If you have any comments or questions, please share them with us. And don't forget to subscribe to follow our future videos. Till then, peace be upon you.